Welcome to the Code with Jason meetup. It's that time of the year where the sun shines through my window in a weird way. Tonight we're going to do some work on SaturnCI. I was supposed to have a mentee this evening, but as has happened a lot of times, for some reason, the mentee canceled with short notice. So I'm going to work on SaturnCI tonight. I'll share my screen and I'll get us going. And Bishoy, I know you know about SaturnCI because you've been here a bunch of times, but Krishna, have you heard about SaturnCI by chance?
No, no, Jason.
Okay, it's my continuous integration platform that I've been building. And most recently, I've been trying to get caching working. Um, and I like to leave a reminder for myself each time I end a session. And I have a reminder from last time, so let's see what it says. This command needs to be replaced with something that will work for our repository. Okay, so I'll explain what that means. First of all, big picture, this product runs test suites, but right now it takes too long. It takes like 4 or 5 minutes, even if the test suite only takes like 20 seconds locally to run. And so, in order to reduce that runtime, I'm working on implementing some caching. Okay, so here we're doing a Docker Compose build, and then I want to do a push to this repository we have. And of course, this isn't Nginx latest. This is SaturnCI. So that's one thing we can change at least. And then this IP, I don't know if that's the right IP or not. Looks like it is. Let me just check. Apparently, I'm signed out. There we go. Okay, 146, blah, blah, blah. That does look like the right one. Obviously, we're not going to have it hard coded forever, but that's fine for now. Let's actually give that a spin and see if it works. I don't know if it's going to work, but I at least can't see any reason why it wouldn't. And I don't know if we need to do sudo or not, but I'm just going to prefix it with sudo because I think it probably can't hurt. Okay. Now I'll commit it, add Docker push. I'm just committing so that I have something to push. Oh, fuck. Okay. I don't have ngrok running. Okay. I'll just do an empty commit. Okay. Now that's running. Okay. And this, I expect, will take about 5 minutes. I'm going to set my timer on my phone for 5 minutes. And we shall we'll check back. I don't know if we can see the system. No, we can't see the system logs yet. But maybe we can SSH into this machine. Let's see about that. Okay, I built this CLI for SaturnCI, but I don't remember how it works. Jobs? Bad credentials. Oh yeah, okay. Um, export. Yeah, there we go. My super secure username and password. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we have two jobs running. And so I will SSH into one of those if I can. Okay, looks like I'm in. I'll see if I can tail the logs. Okay, apparently I can. So right now it is installing the gems. This is part of the Docker build process. So after this, it will attempt to do a push to my what do I call it? To my registry cache. And we'll see if it works or not. Looks like it's still doing the Docker build because it's now it's done with the gem install with the bundle install. And it's pulling these uh these other images like Selenium and Postgres and stuff. Okay, what's happening now? I can't tell. I'm gonna look for the place where it tried to do the push. Okay, I can't tell. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do cat of this log, and then I'm gonna do grep push, except I can't. Okay, it's frozen. Maybe the machine, maybe the job finished and the machine went away. Well, I can see that the test suite ran, but it's still in a running state, not passed. I'll look at the system logs and see if there's a push here. There isn't one, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Okay. Well, let's see if we can troubleshoot this somehow. First, just to kind of orient myself, I'm going to look at this script. Yeah, I think I have an idea for how I can test this. I'm going to do a Docker pull. SaturnCI latest. Okay, there's nothing there. So that tells me that the push didn't work. Let's see if I can find where this push would have happened. Running Docker compose build. Running Docker. Okay, I'm going to add another little helpful note for myself. I'm going to put before push, and I'm going to even say before Docker push and after Docker push. And then I can look at what falls in between. Add diagnostic output. Oh, now it says passed. That's interesting. But of course, the Docker push did not work. All right, so I'll do SaturnCI jobs, and then I'll do SSH for one of the two jobs. Connection refused. This happens sometimes. Okay. Tail dash F. Okay. And now we wait. Looks like this one has not yet started the Docker build. I'm trying to think of reasons why the Docker push might not work. Maybe because I need to be authenticated and I wasn't. That's a possibility. But we'll see. In the meantime, so we're not just sitting here, I'll do this. I'll ask ChatGPT, do I need to authenticate to Docker before I can do this? Hmm. Do I have a username and password for the registry? I don't remember doing anything with this. Hmm. That's interesting. I don't recall ever having set up a username and password for this registry. It's my registry. I'm also going to try this. I'll try a Docker push just manually like this. All right, I've already pushed Nginx, so I know that works. Let's find some other image. Let's do Redis. It looks like the tag for that is 7011. Not Reddit, Redis. Doesn't exist locally. Yeah, I think I did that wrong. Or did I? Okay, interesting. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna tell ChatGPT about this. Okay, so I'm gonna show this to ChatGPT. Huh, I need to re-tag it. Interesting. Did I do this before? Yeah, apparently I did. Okay. Okay, so that apparently does it. So maybe in my script, I need to add this tag business. Okay. Oh, and my job machine is dead. Okay, so it's of course not Redis, it's SaturnCI. It's not 7011, it's latest. Okay, I think that has a better chance of working. Um, what else? Oh yeah. Is it even tagged latest though? Okay, that worked. Here's another thing. Is latest the right tag? How would I know? No, I just mean like would it exist at that point in time? I'm just I'm just asking if my build command would generate an image called SaturnCI latest because I'm not sure that I see why it would. Hmm. I see this. This is a clue that it doesn't. It's called Saturn Test App, it looks like. Saturn CI, where's my Docker Compose file? Yeah. That was weird. Yeah, it's called Saturn Test App. Okay, I'm going to show it my Docker Compose file. Here's my Docker Compose file. In light of this, adjust my Docker push command and the tag command that precedes it to be correct. Okay, but what if I don't want to modify my Docker Compose? Because I'm not sure I want to do that. Okay, that seems even worse. I'll do it in the Docker Compose. Okay, after Docker file. Okay. Um, let me see. Yeah. All right, and then I'll do this. That looks very similar, but I think for consistency, I'll change this to Saturn Test App. Okay, I think that's ready to be tried. Add tagging. Okay, so that last one passed. Incidentally, it only took 3 minutes and 37 seconds, but I think that is just random variance. Sometimes it just happens to go fast. Um, oh, I think I just saw one. I think I saw one that was like 3 minutes and something. Maybe I didn't. Oh yeah, here's one that was 3 minutes and 57 seconds, 3 minutes 58. Yeah, so that seems within the normal range. I think if I think when this caching starts to work, we'll see an improvement of like 2 minutes. Okay, jobs, bad credentials again. Okay, we'll SSH into one of those. Okay, and looks like it's just barely getting started. It hasn't begun the build yet. Okay, now the build has started. While it's doing that, we can maybe review some things. I'm gonna kill that because no point in doing that. Okay, so I'm gonna visually separate this a little bit to hopefully make it easier to read. So we're saying, I think this like retags this image, take the one that currently has the Saturn test app latest tag and add this tag that has the registry cache URL, um, registry cache host with the image and its tag at the end. And then we're taking that one and pushing it. Okay, so this is downloading Redis and Selenium Chromium. So it should be nearly done. Okay. And then I missed what happened next because it went too fast. Am I going to be able to tell? And I think my image is, oh, no. Okay. Okay, now it says running tests. Docker image ls. Let's see. Okay, so we have this one tag here. So if that worked, I should be able to do Docker pull Saturn test app latest. Let's see if this works or not. Didn't work. I would have been surprised if it did. Okay, so now this is frozen. All right, so let's see if we can figure out what went wrong. For which we'll look to the logs. And what's the note in the log? Before Docker push. Oh, whoops. Gotta be the log, yeah. Okay, this is helpful information. It says error response from daemon, no such image, Saturn test app latest. The push refers to blah, blah, blah. An image does not exist locally with the tag blah, blah, blah. Okay, interesting. Because I thought it did. Okay. After Docker push. Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is our entire push thing. Okay. I'm going to try something. Okay. So we have this one called SaturnCI, Saturn test app locally. I'm going to try to, well, I'll try. Okay. Hang on a second. What did I do when I did Redis? Okay. I did that and that like worked no problem. I'm just going to kill that because I don't need to actually go through the whole thing. It didn't give me any error about no such tag or whatever. If I like add some gibberish to the end of that, then it says tag does not exist. No such image, Saturn test app latest. Okay. Can I run this locally? Like, what if I do this locally? If I do a Docker compose build, will it create a Saturn CI image for me? Looks like that might take a while. Okay, so it's saying there's no image called Saturn test app latest. Let's look at my Docker compose a second. Oh, because this doesn't match. Okay, Saturn test app. Okay, we don't need to do this then. Okay. And I'm going to add another note to my script. I'm going to say tagging Saturn test app, performing Docker push, Docker push finished. Then there will be less ambiguity. But the main thing is that I fixed my image tag. Okay. And just so we have something to look at, I'll SSH into this machine. I don't know why my credentials keep going away. Okay. There we go. We can review again while we're waiting for this. Okay. I'll open up the Docker Compose also. Yes, we're giving it this tag of Saturn test app latest. Saturn test app latest. Well, huh. Hmm. I don't understand what this will do. I'm going to ask ChatGPT about this. When I run a Docker compose build, what tag will my image have? Is it gonna include the registry URL or is it not? Because if it already includes the registry URL, then why are we adding it? If the registry URL is already included in the tag, then why are we adding it? Mm-hmm. Redundant. Okay. So we don't need that. And just in case that redundant thing calls the oh, this is dead now. Just in case the redundant thing causes that job to fail. Actually, sorry, let me check the job that just finished and see what happened. Um, if the push worked, then I should now be able to pull, which I cannot. Okay. Okay, performing Docker push. Okay, looks like we're at least getting a different error now. Oh, I don't have like the insecure. Okay, so there was something I learned last time. I'll bring it up. Okay. Yeah, I needed to have this insecure registries thing. Looks like I need to have. I'm going to open up the job machine request class. Hmm. Okay, I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to paste the script in. I'm going to paste this job machine request class. I'm going to say, looks like I need to have this insecure registries config added to my job machine. How can I accomplish that? Modify the script to configure Docker. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Oh, wait, maybe okay. Yeah, I already have like part of that, don't I? Okay, so where was it? Here it is. Okay, wonderful. That is like a pretty easy change. Okay, insecure registries. Add insecure registries directive. Okay. I think I'm not going to bother SSHing into it this time. It doesn't really do anything all that interesting for us. but I will review what do we have now. So right here, it creates this config. And then when we do a build, it creates an image with this tag. And then it pushes it. And while we're waiting, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to my domain registrar and I'm going to see, okay, DNS manage. Oh, okay. My registry cache domain is pointed at that IP. That's good. So if this all works, I should be able to replace this IP wherever it is with registrycache.saturnci.com. Okay. I said I wasn't gonna SSH in, but I'm impatient and I can't tell what the status of this job is. So I want to see bad credentials again, not surprisingly. Okay, we'll SSH into that one. Whoops. Okay, tail-f verilog syslog. Okay, so it's partway through the Docker Compose build. Okay, what is it doing now? Is it pushing to the registry? I cannot tell. If it's not pushing to the registry, I don't know what else it would be pushing to. Okay, I'm gonna do this cat bear log syslog grep push. Okay, performing Docker push. Huh. It gives this error again about gave HTTP response to HTTPS client. Okay, just as a test, let's see what happens when we do pull. Oh wow. So it did get pushed. Interesting. I don't need to actually pull it here. Okay. Yeah, yay. Okay. So I am going to rerun this build and we'll see if the next one is any faster now that it doesn't have to do the build anymore. Oh, wait. Shit. Okay. This isn't going to work. It like should only do the build. It should only do the build if there's no image. It should do a poll first. Okay, can we do a Docker pull first and only perform the build? Can we do a Docker pull first so we don't have have to incur the expense of doing the full build. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what the or true part is about. Okay, running the build if necessary. Although this doesn't look altered in any way, so maybe it just like looks for the image when it does it. Oh, it ensures if the script does not exit if the image is not found. Okay. Yes. Add Docker pull. Okay. So this rerun, we have no reason to expect that that will be any faster. But now if we do, wait, did I already push? Yes. Okay. Yeah, I was just confused as to why this wasn't triggering a new build. Um, this one might end up being faster. We'll see. Bad credentials as always. I'll have to figure out what's up with that at some point. Okay, and we'll SSH into that top one. Um, tail-f bear log syslog. Okay, what's happening? It just did the configuration. Okay, it looks like it did a poll. It still says this, but apparently that's not like a huge issue. Apparently it's not a fatal issue. Now the question is, how much less time does a pull take than a build? I don't know. It looks like it's still building. So that's no good. I'm going to do this Docker image ls. Okay. That looks right, of course. Okay, I'm going to show it my script. And I'm going to say poll appears to have been successful, but it also appears to still be doing a build anyway. Why? Docker compose up no build. Hmm. This seems weird. Seems weird. Normally, a build doesn't repeat if the image already exists, right? Okay, still run through the process of building, even if it ends up using cache for all layers. This appears as if it's building the image anew, but in reality, it might be just checking each layer and finding that nothing needs to be rebuilt. I don't think that's what's happening. Um, Let me do this. I don't think this is what's happening. It's running bundle install. Okay, so that took 4 minutes and 8 seconds. No obvious improvement. But apparently I might need to change the way my Docker file is set up. Okay, minimize the use of copy. Okay. Um, okay, bundle install. Okay, so first I want to copy the, okay. First I want to copy the gem file and stuff, and then run bundle install. I'm gonna ask it if I did it right. It also says use a Docker ignore. Doesn't look like I have one of those. Okay, I'll ask it what I should put in the Docker ignore. Okay, I'm gonna ask it what I should put in the Docker ignore. Okay, I'm gonna say it's a Rails app. Um, Give me everything in one single code block that I can copy paste. I think that's like way too much stuff, but whatever. Okay, improve Docker file, I'll say. Okay, now we can wait for that to run. And I expect that this will push a new image, but I don't expect that this will be any more performant. So we'll have to wait for this one to finish and then push a new one. It's almost the end of the hour, so we'll wrap up in a few minutes, but I at least want to let this one finish and then do a second one after that. Okay. I'm going to say now should I be able to expect that when I run this, my Docker compose build will use my cached image instead of building anew? Okay, it's going to retrieve the latest image from the registry. That makes sense. Even if the image is successfully pulled, Docker Compose will proceed with the build process as specified in your Docker Compose.yml. However, Docker Compose uses Docker's build system, which employs layer caching. This means if nothing has changed in your Docker file or in any files specified in your Docker's context, Docker Compose will use the cached layers for each step in the Docker file, effectively making the build very fast and not actually rebuilding from scratch. If something has changed, Docker Compose will rebuild from the point of change. For example, if a file that's copied onto the image has changed, Docker will use the cache up until the change and will then rebuild the subsequent layers. Okay. I see. Okay. Would actually rebuild each layer. Got it. How much time do we have left? It's been like 3 minutes so far. It's not done yet. Okay. See if I can read a little bit more about Docker caching somewhere. The Docker docs are usually, unfortunately, they're usually fairly poor, but let's see how good this is. When you build the same Docker image multiple times, knowing how to optimize the build cache is a great tool for making sure builds run fast. How the build cache works. Understanding Docker's build cache helps you write better Docker files, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Installing some stuff, copying the main.c and make file, make build. Okay. Okay, each instruction in this Docker file translates to a layer in your final image. For what it's worth, I don't completely understand this. Each instruction in this Docker file translates to a layer in your final image. Okay, what constitutes an instruction? One, two, three, four, five. There's five instructions here. Is that what that means? You can think of image layers as a stack with each layer adding more content on top of the layers that came before it. Okay. With each layer adding more content on top of the layers that came before it. So shouldn't this really be in the reverse order? Whenever a layer changes, that layer will need to be rebuilt. Oh, I'm going to check on our. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to rerun it. And if everything's working as we hope, big if, um, then it should use the cached version of the image, and it'll do the build, but it won't rebuild every layer of the image. All right, so I am going to SSH this time so we can watch the logs. By the way, history, grep, Saturn, grep, head. Yeah, I suspected that before I like logged in. Oh, oh yeah. This gives like the first job. I don't know. Never mind. Okay. Um, maybe I used set or something. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna get into this one. Trying to avoid this tedious copy and pasting and stuff. Okay. Okay. It's pulling something. I'm gonna do this. Oh, I see what it's doing now. It's doing the same old gem install stuff. Oh wait, but yeah, it is. Well, that's annoying. Hmm. Yeah. Okay, so that's no good. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but let's figure out exactly what I'm gonna want to be doing next. I want to leave like a note for myself that lets me know where to pick up. So, what did we accomplish in this session? The pushing and pulling does work. It's just that when we do a build, it doesn't seem to use my cached image. Okay. So next time I pick this up, I'll be able to, I'll see this and I'll do a git diff. I'll see that it says the pushing and pulling works, but when we do a build, it doesn't seem to use the cached image. Okay, stop share. All right. Well, that wasn't much progress, but it was a little bit of progress. And in the big picture, we're progressing because I spent several sessions trying different caching strategies and hit a lot of dead ends. But this particular caching strategy that I'm using now, where we're using a Docker registry cache. This seems to be a fruitful path. And so that's good, even if we're only making a little bit of progress at a time, where we're advancing a little bit and then keeping that progress rather than starting from square one each session like I was for a while. So that's good. Anyway, thanks Krishna and Bishoy for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, thanks, Jason.